From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a big afternoon of Afternoons LA with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. In today's recording, we go over those monthly stimulus checks and why the Democrats are likely to give you more months of checks. Then we cut to the recon. Done deal. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to the American people, mostly application-based. And in this video, we'll show you how to get ready to pounce as a purple hawk. Then we cut to the big vote-in and why it's going to happen sooner and easier than initially thought. Then, this stimulus just around the corner with the raise of your benefits off of SSI and SSDI. How will it work and how will the benefits go up and how will that compare to COLA that was recently announced for next year? Meantime, the exciting great news about rent, utilities, food, and internet. As one person got $50,000 from this channel, and in today's video, you'll meet one person who got over $100,000. This is Afternoons LALATE. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day. The start of the week is upon us. It's a beautiful Monday. I hope you're having a great week. It's going to be a big jam-packed week with a lot of breaking news, so you have to stay with me with all week long and all weekend long. Don't miss a single video across the board. But first, how's the weather where you are? It got muggy again here. Oh, I hate muggy. I hate muggy. I can take heat, but mugginess, it's like I'm in D.C. and listening to Mitch talk about lobsters. Jump in the live chat and tell me where you're tuning in from, and if it feels like you're talking to Mitch in D.C. with lobsters around you. In this recording, we're going to go over those monthly stimulus checks and why the Democrats are likely to give you more months of checks. Then we cut to the recon. Done deal. $3.5 trillion of checks, mostly application-based. And I'll show you, if you're a purple hawk and you've pounced under third stimulus, how you're going to be ready to pounce under fourth stimulus. Then we cut to the voting. Breaking news is the voting may be easier, quicker, and breezier than initially thought. Then we cut to fifth stimulus, which raises your benefits up, SSI, SSDI, and VA benefits. And then we turn to the big money that viewers continue to get for rent, utilities, food, and internet. They're pounces as purple hawks. We met Mark, who got over $50,000 from this channel. In fact, $50,500. But get ready to meet Lorraine, who got over $105,000 from this channel. It's your day to be the next Lorraine. And this is LALATE, America's only 24-hour day, 7 days a week financial news channel in America. Live in the morning, taped in the afternoons. Coming up next is Overnight's Crypto. You don't have to lift a finger, sort of like Chuck Schumer. This video will automatically take you to Overnight's Crypto, currently playing on the channel, as we look at Bitcoin going over 35,000, Ethereum staying over 3,000, and Doge heading to 32. And then at 5 o'clock is Evenings LALATE. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers on YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP member. The link's under the video so you can get this big sum of money. Stay with this channel as it expands with new slates of programming coming within days. Let's cut to those monthly stimulus checks, Senate versus House, House versus Senate, and why things are changing so dramatically and so quickly. Pandemic plus 1 year stimulus check, House, and then Senate, July to December. Let's look and see how they pay out. Everything you need to know starting right now. There we go. Pandemic plus 1 year, and the payouts, how does it work? Bam. House versus Senate. House pays pandemic plus 1 year, a monthly stimulus check. July to December, however, is Senate. Let's go over House versus Senate on payments. $1,000 a month for the House after the first month of $2,000. Senate amount unknown, but word on the street is the Senate would pay you this. Deliciousness, July to December, $2,000 a month, $12,000, or $1,400 over 6 months, $8,400. Well, today is Monday, and guess what starts in New York City today? That becomes the first city to have a vaccination card mandate to enter into businesses like restaurants for indoor dining. And it's expected to spread across the country. San Francisco is second. LA, I believe, will happen very soon. That is because pandemic's not over. Pandemic plus 1 year means more than 12 checks from that house, which means that the house will give you more than $13,000. Compare that to this and the Senate. I think you have an opinion. I think you have an opinion. Jump on the live chat right now and vote House or Senate, House or Senate, and tell me where you're tuning in from and how's the weather. Who gets that fourth stimulus check? You do. Democrats represent that. If you got a third, you get a fourth. Single individual, 75,000 or less. Democrats represent, you get a fourth stimulus check. Married couple, 150,000 or less. Democrats represent, you get a fourth stimulus check. Double it. Family of four, Democrats represent, you get a fourth stimulus check, quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security and Railroad benefits, Democrats represent, you get a fourth stimulus check. The fourth stimulus check is not income, it's not taxable, and the fourth stimulus check is the same amount for everyone, including adult dependents. The fourth stimulus check is, however, not a waivable check. So if you're at the baseball game today and it's the Dodgers and you're in the stadium and you see the wave coming, you go, hey, wave, and you sit down, you say, oh, there's the check sitting next to me. He didn't stand up when the Dodgers wave came. Check, why did you not stand up for the wave? Oh, you're not a waivable check, I forgot. You're also a rude check. You're also a Giants fan. In the second half of this video, we cut to the recon. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to you under this fourth stimulus recon, most of which are application-based. And if you've pounced as a Purple Hawk under third stimulus, you got the skill set ready to pounce under fourth stimulus recon application-based checks. I'll explain what's going on in the second half of this video. Then in the third part, we'll go over the voting process. When, how quickly. It's happening easier, breezier than initially thought. I have the great news coming up in the third part of this video. Then we turn to fifth stimulus, which is just knocking on the door. It's not the pizza delivery. It's the fifth stimulus, and it's coming in September. And with COLA announced for next year of an abysmal 6% increase after many years of doing much of nothing, it's good that COLA's out the door would be replaced by inflation. But first, let's get some money. Get a pen and paper ready because I'm going to get you some money for rent, utilities, food, internet. The application-based money under third stimulus has been rocking this channel since January when third stimulus became a law. Before that, we did second stimulus. And when we talk about rent, and when we talk about 4 to 6 months of rent initially, I said, hey, maybe it's $5,000. I was wrong. How much money are viewers, Purple Hawks, members, but getting for rent from this channel? And they're getting more than 4 to 6 months, by the way, as well. Something you're hearing for the first time on this afternoon's broadcast. You ready? Here we go. $27,000 to members. Bam. Elizabeth getting $27,000 for rent. Mark getting $25,000. There is Nancy with $24,000, Richard with $22,000, and Nisi with $20,000. If you have a success story for rent, utilities, food, or internet, send it to me on social media at LALATE. And here is some of the success stories coming in over the weekend. Gonzalez got $8,000 for rent in California. Pamela tells me she got $12,000 for rent. Carla tells me she got utilities and SNAP. Tiffany tells me she got $13,000 for rent and 3 other items. Randy got $6,000 for rent and 2 other items. Jennifer got $5,000 for rent and 2 other items. And Cecilia got $1,200 for heap. That's a heap of heap. How much are people getting for utilities? Are you ready for that deliciousness? Here we go. Bam. Oh my goodness, that's delicious. $7,000 Nancy got for utilities. There's Nancy again. That's number 2 for Nancy. Oh my goodness. There's Mark again. That's number 2 for Mark. $6,500 for utilities for Mark as well. Angela got $5,000 for utilities. Can Nancy go for the triple crown? Can Mark go for the triple crown? Getting 3 items from this channel. Let's turn to SNAP, which is money for food. It ain't paying out $200 a year to viewers. How much is it paying out annualized? Here is the deliciousness. Bam. Oh my goodness, Louie, $18,000. Congratulations. Great job, Louie. John, $10,000 to $12,000. Whoa, John. And there's Nancy. She got the triple crown, $5,000. So you ready to see who got the triple crown, who got rent, utilities, and SNAP from this channel? You're ready for the success of success? Here we go. Bam. Oh my goodness. Nancy getting $32,000 for rent, utilities, and internet. Nisi getting $23,000 for 3 items. And Mark getting $32,000 for 2 items. Mark, this is a graphic for 3 items. How did you get on the graphic for 3 items? You've got 2 items. Well, let me tell you what happened. Mark got 2 items of $32,000. And then what I said on air for a week was I said to Mark, how come you did not get SNAP? He got rent and utilities, but did not get SNAP. SNAP is a SNAP. That's why they call it SNAP. It's a SNAP. It's easy to get. And for a few days, I said, Mark, for 7 days on camera, I said, Mark, go get SNAP. He got SNAP. He got SNAP. In fact, he also told his neighbor to tune in, and he said, watch that kid. He's the real deal, LALATE. His neighbor went from $0 to $20,000 of rent in just practically overnight. So how much did Mark get for SNAP? Well, I said get $8,000. That'll bring you to $40,000. I love a lot of zeros in a check, don't you? Well, he got more than $8,000. He got more than $8,000. How much did Mark get for SNAP? $19,000, bringing his grand total to $50,500 for Mark. And this is what we do here on LALATE. We've been doing this since day one. On day one, I launched this channel because you had applied for the EIDL loan and the applications were not getting approved. What I called the 330, the 331, the 48 vortex. If you're an OG viewer and remember those days, jump to the live chat and say, I remember that, LALATE. People's applications were stuck. And so I had to figure out how to get your applications approved. That's what this channel was launched for. And so on air, I helped people get their applications going from locked to approved. Off camera, I did the same thing, doing their applications in the middle of the night in private messaging. We got $25 million of EIDL loans approved. I was sometimes doing 10 applications approved a day at $150,000 a pop. Then in fall of 2020, second stimulus checks were not coming. $600 was not coming. So I showed you how to get the big money that's application-based for rent. And Tyrone got $15,000 for his family for it in Boston in December, paying his rent from December to nearly May at a time in which it was hard to get money in rent in Boston. He did it. He conquered the application and got it approved. And now we're doing the same thing because third stimulus is all application-based as well. The only difference is you as a Purple Hawk members are doing it bigger and bolder than we've ever seen it before. And if you thought Mark was the ceiling, if you thought, Mark, no one could get higher than $50,500, I introduce you to the highest recorded number I've ever seen on this channel for rent, utilities, and food. Introducing Lorraine at $105,000 for rent into the future, for food, and additional sums of money. And this is what application-based stimulus is about. So get that pen and paper ready right now because I'm going to have you learn the skills to get big money under third stimulus. And those skills you're going to carry over into fourth stimulus. Here we go. You're going to get some rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, homeowners assistance, and homeowner utilities. Each place has different eligibilities. Here's a couple of things that I want to start with so you understand off the back. First, you're going to reach out to 6 different places I'm going to show you. So if one says no, reach out to the next. Don't stop at a no, go to the next. Number 2, you have to reach out to the places. So don't say, I live in Pennsylvania, this county. Where do I apply? No, I'm actually telling you where to apply. I'm showing you the 6 places of where you go and apply. Number 3, they have their own pots of money. So if one says no and each reach out to the next, they have different eligibility, they have their own pots of money. Then after that, also remember that there's not a single state in the country that's not paying money. It's absolutely everywhere. So keep on pushing. Finally, there is nothing that is unique to you that disqualifies you. So don't create mental disqualifications in your mind like I'm too young, I'm too old, I'm too skinny, I'm too large, I have too much purple on, I have too many surfboards on set, I have too many orchids, I don't qualify. Just not do that because guess what? It's actually not the case. And you need to keep on applying. They accept applications, whether you're not behind on rent, whether you're a single person, whether you have a job, just apply. The best example I had of this was early on where a person in Louisiana has a job, never lost their job, never stopped working, single person, had an expensive apartment, $1,400 a month, got it all paid in the thick of the pandemic. That's how you conquer the application base of third stimulus. All right, you're ready? You're going to reach out to the following 6 places: your city hall, your city housing authority; your county hall, your county housing authority; your state hall, your state housing authority. The keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID or mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID. You don't say words they don't know, like stimulus or Mitch's wonderful dance moves. Jeez, I don't want to see those. And there you go. Congratulations, Tim and Linda, who got this wonderful pot of money. If you got money for rent and utilities, post in the live chat right now. Let's turn to the next pot of money, which is money for your SNAP. SNAP is a SNAP. It's easy to get. Easy breezy. It is money for food, deliciousness. How do you get it? Department of Agriculture. Lynn Glenn got it for herself, her son and her mom. Gail got it as well. Louis got $18,000. Mark got $19,000. John got $10,000 to $12,000. How much does Snap pay? A fortune. A family of four out of Hawaii gets upwards of $16,000 a year. Why so much money? Because of two wonderful executive orders, one from Biden, one from Trump, that raise your benefits up 15% between now and December. So go get it. What are you doing? We're killing it. You're killing it. We're only 15 minutes this video. We've gotten $27,000 for rent, $19,000 for SNAP, $9,000 for utilities, and we're just getting started. The next pot of the money is the money coming back from your states. If you got SNAP as well, post in live chat. So this money coming back from your states is due to overpayment of computer error of unemployment benefits, landing by direct deposit. How do you track it? Contact your state to ask to track the check due to computer error. And when you call them up, say, hi, state, I want to track that check due to computer error. Oh, really? Let me turn on the computer first. Did Sir Loin go to work with the Department of Unemployment? And then finally, the refund check coming back from the IRS. That 2020 unemployment benefit check that you paid taxes on is now getting refunded back to you. Mark got a call, got it, Michael got it. It's a waivable check. Sorry, Mitch, I know that hurts your ears. You hate those expressions, waivable checks. But the average waive is about $1,200 to $1,400 coming this week, coming this month. More about that in a second. But here's a personal message. If you're on the live chat and have not posted your success stories for rent, utilities, and SNAP, please do, because this channel is about me helping others get money and about you helping others as well. And we have 4 wonderful things that are happening when you post your success stories in the live chat. Number 1, we're helping refocus our mindset into realizing, wait a second, the big sums of money under these stimulus packages is application based. There's no automatic check in your hand of $27,000. You have to pick up the phone to get that. You don't have to do a whole lot, but you have to pick up the phone. So it's not like you can hold a donut and $27,000 lands in your hand, or $15,000 or $19,000. And we're refocusing ourselves. So when you post your success story in the live chat, it inspires, it puts fire into people's feet. Say, wait a second, I need my rent paid. I need my utilities paid. I need some SNAP. Then they realize, I should go get it because everyone else in the live chat is getting it. They see the Purple Hawks getting those sums of money. So when they see you getting these massive sums of money for rent, then they realize they should go get it. They realize their utility bill should be paid as well. Then some people have never heard of SNAP. I had Larry Maui. Never heard of SNAP before he found this channel. Got $550 a month at a Hawaii single individual. And then when you got 2 items or 1 item, you see Art Sullivan, a wonderful person, and Nisi, wonderful person, who inspires us to get 3 items. They got 3. They inspired Nancy to get 3 items. Then that inspired Mark to go from 2 items to 3 items. And finally, we see the big sums of money across the board. These are application-based money. Pick up the phone, make the call. You see what other people are doing, you do it as well. All right, let's continue with those unemployment benefits. Where are they landing? Direct deposit, otherwise in the mail. Can you track it? Yeah, go to irs.gov and do a transcript search. 70% of the time it works. It'll reveal the tax return you filed and the taxes you paid. And then it'll reveal stuff you wish you had never seen. When Mitch has his lobster fest, does he dress up as that inflatable lobster as well? I've seen that picture. It's awful. And it will reveal the tax return check you're getting back 70% of the time. Can we track that? We can't. Can we top that? Yes, we can. As we go into the second part of your 4 stimulus check update of 2021, starting right now. Deal done. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to you and the American people under the 4 stimulus recon, most of which is application-based. And if you've pounced as a Purple Hawk under the first, second, or third stimulus package, you're going to know how to do it under the fourth. Let's go over what we've gone through. We had a first stimulus package that is this big, second, third, and then the fourth is this big. See how much bigger the fourth is than compared to the previous 3? Moreover, the previous 3 were nearly 80 to 90% for corporate America, with leaving crumbs for the American people. This one's nearly all money for you. So there's a lot of room to put a stimulus check in there. But the other sums of money, the massive sums of money in there, are application-based. And you got to pounce. And if you've been pouncing as a Purple Hawk on the third stimulus, you've learned the skills of how to pounce when 4th stimulus becomes a law. What are some of those checks that are coming up in the final 15 minutes of this video? Stay with me. It's coming up in just a second. How do we get to this wonderful spot? We got to this wonderful spot by taking roads and bridges out of the recon and putting into something called the bipartisan. Now, it's important to understand and learn about the bipartisan and also your money recon, because the president says, you have to put both bodies of legislation on my desk at the same time. I'm not going to sign one without the other. I must sign two at the same time. I'm not going to sign one. So let's go over all the details. First, a conservative couple of publications op-ed confirms in their reporting. The higher the price tag was on the recon before, the harder it was to pass. But by allowing the Democrats to take out some of the spending from the recon and put it in the bipartisan, the overall price tag of the recon got smaller. There you go. In other words, the recon made the bipartisan passable. They made each other passable, and they both were passed by the U.S. Senate last week. Let's turn now to the recon. Something you're only going to hear on this channel is that the recon price tag of $3.5 trillion was agreed upon far in advance by not just senators and the president, but also House members and the president. So everyone has agreed upon the price tag. So when you send this to the House, they've already agreed upon the price tag before they even start the process. That's incredible great news. As Representative Richie Torres, a Democrat progressive, says we have to have a larger recon. You got it, Richie. $3.5 trillion passed. And Representative Ilhan Omar, Democrat, Minnesota, progressive. We have to have a recon that goes as far and bold as we want it. You got it, passed $3.5 trillion. How do they do this? The president said everything in the recon is just progressive checks for the American people. You need to protect it. And that's what Brian Schatz and Jalapal says the president told them, that the White House considers the progressive priorities in the recon its priorities protected. And that's why they're protecting these checks, application-based for you in this fourth stimulus recon. Now, what is a recon? What is a bipartisan? What is a recon procedural? What is a recon substantive? You're not going to hear any of this detail anywhere else except here, and starting right now. Let's go over the details. It's not difficult when explained. Once you understand it, then you understand what you're hearing. If someone else, broadcast media, butchers the story. Here we go. Recon is your money, also called reconciliation, also called the budget bill. You sometimes will hear it referred to as the Democratic Spending Plan or the Progressive Welfare Assistance Plan or something like that. Price tag $3.5 trillion. Bipartisan, not your money. This is roads and bridges, not your money. Infrastructure, not your money. Price tag $1.5 trillion. Okay, that's easy breezy. That's easy to follow. We have three bodies of law we have to pass. Recon procedural, which passed the Senate last week. Recon substantive and bipartisan. Okay, now time to learn what's the difference between recon procedural and recon substantive. Recon procedural is what goes first. That's what we did last Wednesday in the Senate. It's now going to the House. It's very simple. It only asks two basic questions. One, do you agree to do a recon at a later date of a price tag of $3.5 trillion total? I do. Okay. And do you agree of that money, that $10 will go to committee number 1 in the Congress, $20 to committee 2 in the Congress, etc.? I do. Done. That's all it does. That's all it does. So then once they agree on the recon procedural and they agree that each committee is going to get, $10, $20 to disperse at a later date, then they go do recon substantive. At that point, the committee that has now been given $10 writes up and determines how to spend the $10. We're going to spend the $10 on these people, this time, this way, and over this duration. And that's what we actually consider, a lot of people consider the actual reconciliation bill. Who writes the recon bill? It's written by subcommittees in the House by Democrats for Democrats. Under the Constitution, there's a series of subcommittees that are delegated subject matters. Like, for example, House Ways and Means is responsible for stimulus checks and unemployment benefits. When each of the subcommittees finish writing what they got to write, let's say it's 10 subcommittees with 10 pages, they send it up to Chuck Schumer. He combines it, and that's 100 pages. He puts a big S on it for Schumer. No, for Senate. But in the final 15 minutes of this video, you'll see that maybe it's going to start on the House side with an H instead. Wow, how do we get to this wonderful spot? From Jalapal, who recently wrote Schumer a letter saying Chuck called the vote on the recon. The vote was called on the recon and it passed. Procedural. Step 2 is off to the House. That letter was signed by 12 House Democrats, part of 100 plus, who recently wrote the president a letter saying we're going to be putting monthly fourth stimulus checks in the fourth stimulus package. Wow. Can we top that? We can. As 7 members of the House Ways and Means Subcommittee recently wrote the president a letter. The same subcommittee we just went over? Yes. And they said we're going to be putting monthly fourth stimulus checks in the fourth stimulus package. Wow. You got to keep these people to their promise. They're promising you monthly fourth stimulus checks. Can we top that? We can. As the president 7 weeks ago went overseas for ceremonial signature, but the real deal was just a few days ago in the United States. It's for something that now no longer has to be in the recon. It's called the global minimum corporate tax rate. And the fact is that it's great news. It's not in the recon. 1, easier to write the recon. Then easier to call the vote. Easier to vote on it and easier to pass the fourth stimulus recon because this thing is not in there. And can we top that? We can. In the final 15 minutes of this video, we're going to go over all the sums of money that are application-based in this fourth stimulus recon. We're going to go over why Purple Hawks are more prepared than anyone else to pounce on the fourth stimulus recon if you've pounced on the third stimulus recon. We're going to go over the voting process and why it's going to be sooner, easier, and quicker across the board. And then we turn to fifth stimulus as well. But first, if you need help with rent, utilities, food, or internet, make sure you try your best to do it. This is not a channel where you just sort of put your hand up and say, can people do things for me? No, you need to do it for yourself. Because guess what? When we get to fourth stimulus, I want you to have that skill set. Even if you got one item. If you got SNAP by yourself, I love that. And if you have problems with rent, don't worry. Then you can reach out to the volunteers. Where are they? They're in the description of this video. Go down in the description of this video. You'll find an emoji of a house. Click the link. It'll send you over to the community page. That's news.lalate.com/community. Here's a little bit about them. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds as we go into the final 15 minutes on Afternoons LALATE. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Afternoons LALATE as big details about fourth stimulus and fifth stimulus heat up in the final 15 minutes of this video. But first, how you doing? Thank you for joining me on this big afternoons. You know, you need to stay with me all week long because there's going to be a big week of news. Can't cash out and come out back later. And you can see in this video why it's so important to learn the skill set, because this is where the universe is turning. Meantime, coming up next is overnight's crypto. Last night's overnight's crypto went up 200% on traffic. It was more than double. Thank you for the incredible subscriber growth, and thank you for all the incredible viewership growth as this channel now expands into stock coverage in the next few days. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like this video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Evenings LA is coming up also at 5 o'clock. When campaigning for the President of the United States, Biden said he was going to raise your benefits up if you're on SSI and SSDI VA. He did not deliver it. So now what's happening? That's going to be fifth stimulus. The Democratic representatives and senators they're going to take care of it in fifth stimulus. It starts in September, just a few days from now. And they start drafting it, going to a vote, what they anticipate by November, with a benchmark applying in December. Where is that benchmark going? Let's go over all the details. Step 1, they're going to raise your benefit limits up. Number 2, they're going to remove the asset limit. Number 3, they're going to apply an inflationary benchmark. Number 4, remove the income exclusion and remove the marriage penalty. Let's go over all the details starting right now. Who is this for? You. If you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, Veterans benefits, SSA, or multiple beneficiaries. First step is they'll raise your benefits up one time, a lifetime. Then they'll apply a new benchmark. The current benchmark is COLA, and it's absolutely horrible. Yeah, it's going to go up 6% next year. That's nothing to be celebrating about because it hasn't done anything for decades. They're going to get rid of that and replace it with inflation, which goes up a lot more. In fact, inflation's going to be transitory. What does transitory mean? It means a temporary spike around December. Oh, yes, that's great news. That means it's going to spike up and then come back down. How high? I've been reporting about 5%. Let's do the analysis. First, it'll raise your benefits up. Then they'll apply the benchmark. And if inflation rate is 5%, then it'll go up another 5% on top of that. Then if the inflation rate is 2% the year after that, it'll be plus 2, plus 5%. They're going to remove the asset cap, dating back to a 1980s law that says you can have more than $3,000 in hand. Now you'll be able to have some purple shirts and a Crayola crowns and some stimulus checks in your hand. They're going to remove the income cap, dating back to a 1960s law. And finally, the marriage penalty is going to go away. Love is going to win, and you'll be able to marry your longtime love interest and do a pair dance like Rob and Sandy at their own wedding. And if your benefits were canceled, they'll be restored. There you go. Meantime, there will be a fifth stimulus check those House Ways and Means members represent for next year. And finally, if you're on the live chat and you do not have a Purple Hawk next to your name, what are you doing? You need to join as a member today. Here's why. Daily, I deliver to the Purple Hawks of this channel, the members, a breakdown of all the big money that's available under second stimulus, under third stimulus, and proposed under fourth and fifth stimulus via the YouTube community page written by me. Why is it important to know this? Because most of the big monies under third stimulus are application-based. Here's what's at issue. When second stimulus was passed, there's a $600 stimulus check, and I said, sure, you're going to do not focus on the $600 because you're going to get in, spend it, and wonder, okay, where's the next check? Because $600 ain't going to cut it. And that's how Tyrone and his family of four got $15,000 for rent out of Boston in December. He focused on getting the big money that's application-based. He applied and got the money approved. Then, in January this year, third stimulus was passed. $1,400 stimulus check. Sure, there's a $1,400 stimulus check, but I said, do not be focused on it. Be focused on applying for the big other sums of money. Rent, utilities, food, internet, mortgage utilities, so that you can get, at that time, I said $14,000. When you now see what members have gotten, members have understood that the big sums of money under third stimulus have been application-based. And you see these numbers for viewers. So many viewers getting over $20,000 of rent. So many viewers getting over $5,000 for utilities. And so many viewers getting far in excess of $5,000 for SNAP. Lots of viewers getting 3 items, bringing themselves to over $23,000 to $30,000. This is where stimulus is core is. And with that, let's get to the final 15 minutes of this video, starting right now with the final 15 breaking news across the board. Done deal. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to the American people, mostly application-based under the fourth stimulus recon. The first, second, and third stimulus were about this big, 90% for U.S. corporations. This one is this big, so there's a lot of room to get a stimulus check in there. But again, like third stimulus, you should not be focused on the stimulus check. You should be focused on the application-based sums of money in there that are going to pay fortunes. Imagine viewers getting $30,000 routinely on this channel under third stimulus, which was this big. And now we have fourth stimulus that's this big. Imagine how much money the Purple Hawks are going to get from these application-based items in fourth stimulus. Let's go over some of the items that are proposed in fourth stimulus. While we do not have the actual bill, these are proposed. They're suggesting them. Let's go over all the incredible great news. It's checks for everyone, including seniors and workers. Free school models for all checks, tax break checks, cheaper prescription medication checks, a greener farming checks, free internet checks, lots of checks for workers and seniors, workers checks, independent contractors, union checks, seniors checks, lowered eligibility age checks, dental checks, vision checks, hearing care checks. I love it. I'm getting messages from viewers saying, I want to get that dental check. It's not law yet, but I love the spirit of a Purple Hawk that's ready to pounce before it's law. Let's cut over to the path now. So last Wednesday, the recon procedural passed the Senate. Next stop is the House. This is going to be very simple. Why? Because as you heard earlier in this video, they've already agreed upon the price tag before they start the price process. So it's going to be a simple, easy vote. Then they go into recon substantive, in which they decide how to disperse the money across the board. We have firm dates and proposed dates from Schumer and Hoyer that suggests we're going sooner and easier than initially thought. Steny Hoyer tells us 8/23 is a firm date for the recon procedural vote in the House. Schumer tells us 9/15 is a firm date for the reconciliation substantive. But is it in the House or the Senate? There's new reports that suggest maybe it's in the House. That's why there's an asterisk next to House for proposed. It might be in the House. I like it starting in the House. Why? Because the subcommittee is writing the language. Number two, the House is mostly progressives. They spend a lot more money. Number three, I like the House going first because they can put more money in there, and then the vote-a-rom in the Senate could put more money on top of it. And then 9:30 is a proposed date to do all the recon of voting and get it done finally. We have brought back seats for stimulus because it is now really a front page article, a front page topic. Hashtag seats for stimulus was started last year by me as a social media campaign to say, give us the right stimulus or we're taking your seat. Guess what? There's 6 House seats up for grabs in just a few weeks from now. On Election Day 2021, these 6 seats will determine how Democratic the House may become and how Republican the House may slant to become. 6 seats could dramatically change the whole microcosm of the House. So go on social media, tag elected officials with the hashtag seats for stimulus. Share these videos, tag your elected officials, say, give us the right stimulus or I'm going to take your seats. And finally, the Senate has 34 seats up for grabs next year. Finally, I'm really excited for you on how well you have done in refocusing over the last few days. This channel launched as a channel to help people get money, not as a channel to track checks in the mail. In 2020, people had applied for the EIDL loan, and their applications were stalled in a vortex, which I call the 3:30, March 30th, March 31st, and April 8th, the 3:30, 3:31, and 4:08. They needed information. Someone to explain to them, how do I get that application from unapproved to approved? I came on the scene and I blew it up. And I showed them how to get even the most complicated situation approved, getting $25 million of EIDL loans approved. Days later, I knew that there was a new thing going live in the country called PUA. It was going live on April 28th. And so on April 25th, where it had not yet gone live, in fact, it had not even been mentioned in some states, I went on air and I explained to viewers, this is how you can apply for it. It's not an easy application, especially if an independent contractor. You have to go here and then there and then here and then there. I explained people how to apply and they pounced. That's what we've been doing since day one. But along the way, some people got used to the notion of things just automatically landing. You don't have to pick up a telephone. You don't have to pick up a pen. You don't have to move your leg. You don't even have to go to the mailbox. Maybe it comes to direct deposit. You don't have to do anything. Everything is automatic. That was never the case under first stimulus. It was never the case under second stimulus. But somehow people got used to the notion of automatic payments. Under third stimulus, you now see, and I'm so excited for you, you now see how people have realized that there's a $1,400 stimulus check in the third stimulus package. But to get $27,000, it's not automatic. You have to pick up the phone and call. You have to push as a Purple Power member. You have to actually make the effort to pick up the phone and call. And I'm so excited that so many viewers have now gotten the fire underneath their feet to realize, I can do this. You're inspiring each other because when one person gets it, then another person gets it. When one person says, I applied at one spot and I stopped, then another person says, don't stop at one spot. You have to keep on pushing because each place has different eligibility. When one person says, there's nothing in Mississippi, and 3 people are in the live chat say, I'm in Mississippi, I got money, here's where you go. That's the spirit of a community that says, keep on getting the money because it's there. This is why it's so critical, because under fifth stimulus, it's going to be predominantly application-based. It's going to be predominantly application-based. Some people overnight said, what does application mean? It means it's not automatic. It means it does not just land in your bank account. I want free internet. How do I get that? I just wave my finger and it lands? No, you're going to have to go somewhere like a phone number or a website, and you're going to have to apply to get the money. It's not live yet, so don't ask where it is yet. But if you have gotten one sum of money by applying under third stimulus, like picking up the phone and getting SNAP, picking up the phone and getting utilities, $500 or $400, you've already developed that skill set. And why are you so much better than prepared for fourth stimulus? Because when fourth stimulus happens, and you see this $3.5 trillion of spending, checks and checks and checks for more for the American people, you will know how to pounce. I'm going to be there to show you where those checks are. Because when we talk about internet versus rent versus utilities versus dental versus vision and teeth, Those are all different places. They're not going to be in one place. So it's not like you're going to pick up the phone and you're going to get 20 checks from 20 different places by picking up one phone call in 20 minutes and you're done. You're going to have to pounce, but it's going to be so easy for you to do it once you have conquered it one time under third stimulus. And so I'm really proud of you. Finally, a personal message. I delivered this message over the weekend. I'm going to deliver it for the next few days. I value your safety and I value your information. And every YouTube creator has always had issues over the last year with people jumping into the comments under a video saying, WhatsApp me, contact me, I'll send you some free cryptocurrency in a third world country, and then maybe you'll get a free car out of it. We've all seen those scammers, and they're horrible. And we all try our best efforts to block them, and they seem to just come back around. So I value your safety. And so since the last few days, I put comments on this channel on approval mode only, meaning that if you're a member, your applications will, your comments will be held and then shortly thereafter approved. If you're a subscriber, maybe some of your comments will approve. And if you're not a subscriber and not a member, your comments will not appear. It's important to also understand that I value that you get correct information. So for everyone that's perhaps a member of Purple Hawk, that posts a comment that says, I'm 65 years old. Is there money for me for rent? Someone floating through the internet, not a member, not a subscriber, says, no, you're too old. No one over 60 years in the United States gets a single penny from anyone ever. Go swimming. And then someone will read that and say, oh, I guess that person was right. And that person was not right. That person intended to provide you false information out of their celebratory nature. They enjoy casting false information into your realm. And so that's why I protect you, and I ensure that you get correct information and you're not bothered by those external influences. And for that reason, we've had a great job of it. There's about 2,000-3,000 comments per video that are being held on the back end. But with this, we have a safer place with more sound, wonderful, kind people, and we're getting all the information out correctly across the board. Coming up next is Overnight's Crypto, and yes, last night's Overnight's Crypto went up 200% in viewership. Can you imagine? So jump into that show. It comes up right after this. Crypto is going through the roof. Doge is heading to 31. Bitcoin to 46. Ethereum to 3,100. So jump in that video. Then Evenings LA is coming up after that. And with that, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers with YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay here as Overnight's Crypto starts next.